This is my 2016 Jeep Cherokee. It's been through a lot. It's got 143,000 miles. And I think it's time to get a new battery. So I just wanted to kind of cover it in the video today so you can see what's the best time to buy a battery instead of getting caught on the road with a dead battery. So this is the symptom that I have that made me think I needed to get a new battery. That doesn't seem like much, does it? It seems like it started right up. But the thing about vehicle maintenance is not just the readings that you get in your controls or on your control gauge. It's how the car sounds, and when particular sounds that you hear every day change, when it's like, oh, that doesn't sound like it used to sound like, then you have to start doing some internal diagnostics. So if you're aware and you're paying attention to the feedback that your vehicle is giving you, aside from just the gauges that it gives you, and here I'll show you really quick what I'm talking about. Yeah, did you hear that one? And it started. So let me show you what it looks like from a matter of the gauges, and there would be no way for you to know other than just your own feedback that the vehicle needs to have a charge. Whoops. Here we go, vehicle information. So that right there, if you're looking at the gauges, would say, oh, my charging system is fine. But that doesn't tell you anything about the battery. So if you if you feel like, that doesn't sound right, the best thing for you to do is take your car off to AutoZone and put it on a charger. Let me show you what they'll do for you there. All right, so if you're not sure that your battery needs to be replaced, take it on over to the AutoZone and they will do an amperage test on it. They got a neat little device right here. They'll plug in it and it will tell you whether it's ready to be replaced or not.
So it is showing bad battery, cranking health is failing, and then it's only getting up to 60% charge because it's getting a bit older.
There you go. So that answers that question. All right, so let's change the battery. What you're going to need to change the battery on this car is a 10mm socket. I have that right here. Boom. You'll need I believe a 13mm socket to get the battery bracket and a long extension, which is right down in here. You'll have to be able to pull that out. You'll need a little bit of electrical tape. That'll make sense a little bit later on. And you'll need a wire brush for cleaning the terminals and the new terminal. I also have a little trick that involves the use of a used Ziploc bag. I'll go over that once we get there. So let's go ahead and loosen these terminals. What do you do first? The negative. You need to pull the negative terminal off first. The negative terminal will prevent the battery from having a charge, and it'll limit any kind of spark discharge. Any sparks on this side, if it does disconnect, they won't affect the electrical equipment. If you had unconnected the positive, a spark is actually an increase in amperage as it jumps across. So you don't want to have that, right? You want to keep it constant. So you want to take the negative off first. So let's get that done. Boom. Negative is off first. Now, the reason why I have brought that little Ziploc bag is we want to prevent the negative from falling back on and becoming grounded when we disconnect the positive. So you take this little Ziploc and you want to put it over that negative terminal. That'll give you a little plastic barrier that you can use. And then I take a little bit of electrical tape and just wrap it around that bag. And you want to suspend that negative terminal. Let's call it a ground terminal. That's a little less negative. You want to suspend that one so that it doesn't fall back into the battery box when you're working. So I take a little electrical tape and just wrap it around there. and then extend it up here so that I can just wrap it around something. There we go. That negative terminal, the ground terminal, is not going anywhere, and it's not going to affect anything, and it won't fall back down into the battery and release the ground. All right, so now we can pull the positive terminal off. Okay. Curious about how these goofy connectors work. I've got a whole video on that. I'll put a link up in the tags up at the top, and you can see how these things work. I have a really good detailed video on those. Same thing, battery the positive. We're gonna see how that fell right back in place. That's the same thing you want to prevent, right? So we're gonna take a little bit of electrical tape, and I'm just gonna really quick just grab this, throw a little bit extra, and wrap it around something. That will keep it from falling back into the battery box while we're working. Keeps it suspended. All right, let's grab a 13 millimeter and pull this battery out. If you don't have a massively long extension for your, I suggested that you buy one. It's a really great have. You can, if you don't have a really long one, you can take a couple of short ones and put them together. But having a long one is a great, it's a great thing to have. Whoops! I guess it's not 13 millimeters. All right, well that turned out to be a 10 millimeter too. It must have been another vehicle I was thinking that had the 13 millimeter down there. All right, so we're just going to loosen that up. It's a very long bolt. Little ratchet ASMR for you. I'm thinking one of these days I'm going to make 10 hours of just ratchet, and people can listen to it with as an ASMR video. All right, there we go. That's the end of that one. Okay. Very long bolt. There you go. See how long that bolt is? It has a lot of active threads too. All right. That bolt holds down this little wedge that keeps the battery in place when you're driving around. All right, this baby's ready to go. So really quick, I'm going to go over the old battery before we put the new battery in. You notice on here it says 722. This video is being recorded January of 2026, which means that this battery did not quite get 4 years. And it says return it to Walmart. Well, the thing about these batteries is they have a warranty. It's a 4-year warranty. So guess what? Although I bought the other battery at AutoZone and it has a $22 core, I might just take this back to Walmart and see if I can get my money back. Or, you know, what kind of credit I can get. Obviously, I already bought the other battery, but they're supposed to last for 4 years and I didn't quite get it. That's really important. So let's go over some of the stuff. AGM, these are glass-packed batteries. AGMs are really great. They charge well. They have good resistance to cold. They have really decent amperage, and they're just a lot better than the old lead-acid batteries. So if you can get the AGMs, they're a little bit more expensive, but they really are a lot better battery. And boom, now I have another 4 years on a battery. I was able to take the old battery into Walmart. They clicked on the little barcodes and said, yep, this is under warranty, and they just gave me a new one. So that 4-year battery that was 6 months away from 4 years, now I have another 4 years. Although the way the warranty reads is this now is only warranted for 90 days or for the remainder of the original warranty, which is 6 more months. So technically, it's not another 4-year warranty, but this should last me another 4 years. So we'll, in effect, be making a 4-year battery last 8 years. So enough about that. Let's go ahead and get this thing installed. The next thing we need to do is we need to clean these terminals off. You can see this has been in a stock room for a while, and it's got some corrosion on there. So we're going to run the wire brush on there, and this one over here, even though it's got a lid, we're also going to clean that one off. And then we'll clean off the ones inside the battery terminals themselves, the actual connectors, to make sure that they have a good metal-to-metal contact. And then we'll also put a little dielectric grease on there to keep any kind of moisture from collecting and creating oxidization. All right, so let's get started with that. This is my little battery terminal wire brush. It has a little, it's like the worms from Dune. Shai Hulud. So anyway, you just need to throw this thing on there, give it a spin, and it will clean off those terminals nicely. There you go. Nice and shiny. See the bare metal now. All right, let's do the other one. The battery brush also has a little a little extension on the other end that's covered by this little cover, and you can use this to clean the insides of these terminals. So I got this taped up right now, but just wanted to show you this is a nifty little tool. If you don't have one, I've had this one for 20 years maybe, I don't know, forever. They last forever. Just use it for that one purpose. Don't use it for anything else, and it'll last for a long time. All right, so these goofy battery terminals, they work on a little ramp that makes this little bar here slide. If your bar, when you have it loose like this, if it's loose, you can see how this one moves back and forth. Then what needs to happen is you need to put a screwdriver in this little space in here and spread it open. This is supposed to be sort of a spring-loaded action here, and when you back it off, it should be tight and not wiggling. That way, when you put this onto the battery terminal, it'll be open as wide as it can, and it will seat all the way to the bottom. And then when you tighten this bolt, you can see how the slide, there's like a ramp underneath it, and it'll move this little slide this direction, that direction, which will tighten it up. So if yours is wiggling like this, just open the gap a little with a flathead screwdriver, and you'll be good to go. All right, we've got the battery kind of sitting in place. Just real quick, before you get to plugging things in, validate your polarity. This is a negative. This right here is a positive, and it will go to the positive post. There's a lot of different form factors of batteries, and sometimes they have them the other way around. Sometimes you'll have a post on this side versus that side. So just make sure that you validate your polarity to make sure you're plugging it in the right direction. And then when you set it in place, you can see the little groove right down there, and then you slide the battery right into underneath that groove right there. And now when we put the little wedge in, whoops, that little wedge will go right in here, and it will hold it down from this side right here. All right, so let's go ahead and plug this thing in. There you can see they've got the wedge sitting in place. Just need to line up the holes. There we go. Slide this little 10 millimeter bolt in there. There you go. All right, we'll tighten that baby up, and then we'll get the posts connected. This is the battery terminal and cable protector that I use. And I say I use because this is probably the 4th battery that I've installed with this single packet. You're not going to slather it. You just want a thin film. You're just trying to protect the battery terminals from becoming oxidized. So we're not trying to lubricate it. We're just going to put a thin film on it. So like I said, I've had this for like 4 other batteries. It's 4 years per battery. They last a long time. So you don't have to buy them every time. Just keep a little organization and you'll be good to go. All right, so just like before, but in reverse order, I'm going to go ahead and take my little electrical tape off of here. I've already cleaned these terminals. See how nice and shiny they are. We're going to go ahead and put the positive on. I'm going to get it to seat all the way down. And then we're going to tighten this little 10mm bolt right here. And then once we get that one tight, we're going to do the same thing with the negative. You don't want to go ahead and tighten this up while you're still wrenching. It's always a good idea not to put the negative on until you've got this all tightened up. You don't want to take a risk of having your wrench touch something while you're tightening up the positive. So yeah, just get that done before you put that one on. All right, just like that, that's a battery installed. It's a pretty easy task. It's a little heavy, and you have to do things in sequence, but if you know how to do it, you can do it on your own. It's pretty easy to do. Here's a quick review of the tools that we used. My little electrical tape and Ziploc bag trick. If you don't know that, put that one in your pocket. You'll use that, I'm sure. A standard screwdriver, a 10mm socket on an extension. I also have a long extension for the connector. And then one of these nifty little wire brushes, Shai Halud. Let's go ahead and start the car up and see what it sounds like with the fresh battery. Here we go. You see if you can see what it sounds like. See the, thank you. You can see that it just shows a good charge. That's not a problem. That actually shows that the battery is connected and that the alternator is happy with it. You'll also notice it's charging a little bit less because the battery's in pretty much a full charge. It's in a full state. So I mean, you could have looked at the old one and saw that it was running at nearly 15 volts and realized, oh, the battery's not taking a charge. So if you could read that gauge and see that, then you'd be able to see the same thing. But let me do it one more time so you can hear the difference. I mean, you can tell that's got some power, and it started without a problem. All right, that's it. That's how to change the battery and how to get a 4-year battery to last for 8 years. That's all I got for you on this topic. Have a good day.